peeps. Yeah, well, what you see in the background is the creation I've come up with. Let's have a look, eh? So yeah, first of all we go off the standard. The frame itself is actually standard, it's just been lengthened. I've added a double frame rail because of the weight of it. I've just added for the clutch, it's hydro clutch, and brakes are standard, so obviously still front brakes and still back brakes. We'll have to get a lengthened cable because obviously it's extended. Yeah, dash, I've still got to get a dash for it. Not sure yet of what I'm going to run, as it's going to be aftermarket ECU, so yeah, we'll work something out. Yeah, XR6 turbo intercooler, and have made up a little plenum there. Doesn't need to be anything liters because, as discussed, it's got ITBs on there. So yeah, that looks pretty good. I've also got the boot straps as well to hold it onto the throttle bodies. So because there will be couplers there and with silicone hose, but obviously just with the clamps it won't be able to hold the boost on. That's what everyone does. So yeah, the actual manifold itself, I've come up with a cool little manifold design here. So 4 to 2 because it's split pulse design. And yep, so split pulse, obviously have to split pulse it for the wastegate. It's not hooked up here yet. I'm just waiting on a flange so I can weld it on, but I have got a bracket under here that holds the actual turbo up, because how weighty the turbo is, I don't want to on the engine to support it. I have come up with got new side pods for it, both sides, because this other side pods I had to trim them. So thanks very much Jordan from JFK, Jordan Factory Karts. Yeah, so obviously just small exhaust exits, screamer and 4-inch exhaust there. Oil cooler. This actually was the water cooler for the intercooler on the other bike motor. So we have just mounted on the side like this, and I will just make up a little chute coming off to get some cold air coming into it. It has actually got PC fans, if you can sort of see them. They are PC fans, 3 off. Yep, well, that's what we've got. Radiator will be out the back, that's coming this week. So they will get mounted straight up on top here. I've already put AN fittings on all the water so far. That one, and there's one down there as well. Battery tray mounted. I will have the ECU and the PDM here as well. And the electric shift. This way we won't be having a won't be shifting this with. So it's all just electric and it will be via button. Well, it's going to go paddle shifts. Don't have much room to turn the steering wheel with, so I end up just going a couple of buttons. When the steering wheel's upside down at the moment, I want to flip it back up, there'll be buttons on either side just to go up, one down. So yeah, because it's electric solenoid, it's up and down as well. Yeah, so this is what we've got happening at the moment. Yeah, everything, the intercooler has all the cold sides been mounted up until the bottom of the intercooler here. I just need to get some more pipe to connect the bottom of the cooler to the housing, turbo housing. Have got, or haven't got the sump done as yet. I'll wait till I get the block out, and we'll drill and tap or even weld up a fitting for the turbo drain. Yeah, so it's looking pretty low at the moment. Tires are a bit flat at the front and haven't actually finished everything yet, so she'll keep up a little bit more. Yeah, front nose cone, will probably get a new one, or I may fix it. It's just got a bit of a drift damage, you call it there. Yeah, everything else is looking pretty rad. It's quite a little bit longer, but I reckon it should be pretty sweet to drive. It's going to get pretty warm here as well. There's going to be a factor here that everyone's going to pick up. Yes, it's going to get pretty warm here. They're going to be, the manifold's going to be heat wrapped, and also I'll end up making a shield here as well, so to get the heat down. There's nothing else I could have done. I couldn't shake these down any further, and I didn't want to go engine back any further as it is. This is sort of the smallest I can go. I couldn't bring it back any further because then the angle of the chain, I'll end up hitting the bottom of the water pump, which I didn't want to do either. So pretty happy with everything so far. The angle of the engine, and it's all mounted. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side. Mounts on the back, and also tabs right on the bottom as well. So as soon as I bolted all that up, everything didn't move straight away. We just need so it's all been half welded on one side. When I take everything off, I'll re-weld the other side of the tubes, which is no biggie. And it's all mostly mostly welded now anyway. Got a couple little bits and pieces to clean up on the chassis that I don't need anymore. But yeah, so yeah, side pods, the new side pod mounts have been done on both sides, and coolers obviously mounted top, and yeah, mounted on the in the actual engine mount here as well, with a M6 bolt going straight through it. So that's pretty solid there for the cooler. Our cooler's hard lined to the plenum as well, so that ain't going to go anywhere. And it'll be hard lined as well. I don't like slipping couplers, they look ugly, so I'll be hard lined to the turbo as well. Yeah, so we just got to go over what dash we're going to use. I'm thinking about mounting it on the steering wheel. The old one was actually mounted behind, right in this sort of area, but yeah, I'm going ahead of it. I reckon I should mount it on the actual steering wheel. Let me know what you guys think. Fuel pump I'm probably going to mount somewhere in this area. Old fuel pump was mounted about here, I reckon, just off the side of it. So I'm thinking it's just an single 044 pump. I'll probably thin plate the top there, and yeah, and have the pump mounted there away from the heat, and because this is the side that the fuel is on. And yeah, so a fuel rail coming, a proper fuel rail, because these actually only had a in feed, not a return as well. I could weld a fitting off of here as well, but then it's just, yeah, an actual rail looks so much nicer on these things. So yeah, all in all, everything else is looking pretty good. Haven't really got stuck with anything yet. Just, yeah, ideas. It's been on this for about a week and a half, after I got the frame back. Thanks very much, Brendan, for that. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll let him know obviously when the frame's ready, and we'll get it powder coated as well through him. So yeah, what I'm thinking of is these are as just a single coil, just a 2-pin, so that's just a coil, it's not an igniter. So I'm probably going to try a Yaris coil, see if they can actually fit in, because I don't want external igniters, hopefully not anyway. ECU, not 100% sure what one. I do have the factory booster one and that, but I don't, they just, yeah, you got to get a power commander, or you flash them and whatnot, and yeah, I don't want to do that, so I'd rather just get a aftermarket ECU, mount somewhat here with the, as I said, I'll make up a quick PDM like I did all my other projects here as well, with all the relays in it, and yeah, and that'll be all the electronics on this side. Said from factory, these things make around about 100 and, at the actual engine itself, around about 177 horsepower. And turbocharged. This is a 35 frame turbo, and yeah, they say with around about the 10 pounder boost should be in the, obviously, the high 300s. So I'm thinking, yeah, we'll see how they go. These motors last, I got, like, there's a couple of these things that gone around about the 550 horsepower standard. Everything, the whole bottom end's all standard rods and pistons, all standard. So obviously I don't want to push that much. I think with a kart, it's just going to be pretty nuts. As I said, it's going to be just a bit of a tire fry, but I'm hoping with it's the only reason why I went a bigger turbo. I was only going through a 30 turbo. Going a bigger frame turbo, I'm hoping around the corners, just with a bit of turbo lag, sorry, that it will, with the lag, and then I've got speed coming, then obviously on the go when it builds up boost, it shouldn't be too much of a yeah, an instant tire fry. Smaller frame turbo, and it just would have been a mad drift kart. I didn't want a drift kart though. The other engine over there, that was a pretty little drift kart, come on boost pretty hard, and but I still think around the corners this thing will still be able to spin the wheels pretty bloody easy. Yeah, so not much more I need to do to it. I've had to make up a new stop. Obviously it's just the cutout for the stopper. I'm just going to make up a bracket to mount, probably mount something else with here, so then I can mount the accelerator cable onto. And yeah, sorry I haven't posted much lately, but I've just been busy doing this. But yeah, everything else is looking pretty good. So yeah. Alright peeps, yeah, let me know what you all think of the booster kart. Yeah, as I said, it's a bit spastic, but yeah, that's what I like to do. Yeah, I'll try to keep the content coming now. I know where I'm at. I didn't want to upload if I was going to pull half the thing apart anyway and redo it. I don't like showing my redos, as a lot of people do. I don't want to bore you with just welding for days on end. Yeah, so I just got to I should be able to upload of fitting the radiator and yeah, doing the rest of the little parts and pieces that I've got going on, and then obviously, yeah, when we're putting it all down. So yeah, I'm hoping over Christmas we've got a bit of time off as well. We should be able to get, I'm hoping all the parts come before then, and we should be able to pull it apart over Chrissy, and hopefully after Chrissy we send it off to Brendan to get it powder coated, and yeah, we get it back, start assembling everything, and yeah, take care of just the tiny bits and pieces that I need to do later. But yeah, all in all, I'm pretty happy with it, and I hope you guys think it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I think it should be pretty nuts. Always so yeah, I've always wanted a booster, as in a bike, I don't like bikes myself. I probably will end up doing one later on with content, but I just don't like. I have ridden a couple of bikes before. Yeah, it's not for me. I'd rather everything with 4 wheels. So I don't like anything with 2 wheels. It's not for me. I've seen yeah, some crazy shit happen. But anything with 4 wheels I like. Quads, as go-karts, cars, that sort of stuff. I'm not into the off-road sand rail stuff. You gotta worry too much into the suspension bits and pieces there, and yeah, I've seen too much shit happen, and yeah, nothing actually goes right. So I'm pretty, after this kart here, I need some new ideas. Actually, I actually don't have an idea yet of what to build after this. I know it's got you stumped, but yeah, I know I've got other projects here. Yeah, as I said, let's have a look. So the twin turbo K20 is looking a little bit sad at the moment, but it is, as I said, it is still getting work done. I'm waiting on a couple of parts. I'm waiting on this guy with a diff who's been stuffing around for ages, but I literally cannot find another diff anywhere else. And I like to do things in stages. I like to do things in stages where I know what I'm doing. So like once I get a diff, I'll go from this to that to that. But then if a guy's sussing around with a diff, then it's I gotta wait. I just can't go ahead and just, yeah, and keep going. I don't know, yeah, it's just what I like to do. Could be OCD, I don't know, but yeah. So that's what I'm waiting on that, and then I just want to get it as a roller. As I said, all the struts are there, ready to go. I just want to get the diff done, and yeah, ready to go. And then you are probably wondering about some other stuff as well. Let's have a look. Probably wondering about the 2J. That's all going pretty good. I've been done a little bit on the wiring as well. This, as I said, this is a project, but it's a fucking very expensive project. Yeah, so this is sort of like, it's never going to change, as I don't want to like stuff anything up. So yeah, just taking a lot of time, that's all. But I still got a few more parts, but the parts that I need for this thing are bloody lots of money. So yeah, this thing can wait for little bits and pieces, but I do need to do the wiring so I can have everything working. My dog did get to a couple of the sensors while everything was happening. That one over there, great dog he is. So I've got the couple new, it's only like 3 sensors that he got to. He got to the wiring loom when it was over underneath the pergola. So that's why I wanted to bring it in here, because I could see him getting towards anything else as well. So yeah, so that's the update on this thing. Don't want to bore you with too much updates, but yeah, just show what's all happening actually. Let's go over to the boat. What's happening over the boat? All right, here we have the boat. It's all together, everything's there. I did have it kicked over, I did have it start a little bit, and then we ran into a couple of problems with the ECU. So I've been back and forth with the guy that does these ECUs, and it's just fucking nightmare. So we are still going over it and making sure everything is working. I've had the ECU check, and does seem like there's nothing wrong with the ECU, but none of the pinouts actually work. I've lost spark and I've lost injectors. So yeah, that's where we're up to on this thing. So once I get that figured out, this thing can happen. As I said, that's what I still need to do, a couple of things like paint trailer and yeah, make a couple other bits and pieces as well for it. But apart from that, everything actually works. That's the dog, yep. Like yeah, stereo all works. Once I get the ECU happened, I'll take you through everything. Yeah, so it has actually got fuel in it and water on the everything's working here right now. Yeah, if I get the ECU figured out, then yeah, I'll get it started and have an upload on. It's looking pretty rad. So it is a bit low on the frame, but that's what the kart is. yeah, hopefully you guys like it. See you later.